Call, man. I'm just following up, man. I'm a soldier, man. And we live, man.
All praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
double honors to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere Akim, teaching and truth and sincerity. Revelation 18. Yeah. Let's go to Jeremiah 50. Going into we going into today, right? End time prophecies, great time to be alive. We just gotta remain steadfast in the spirit of Ratazah. Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, starting verse 1. The word of the Lord Yahweh spake against Babylon and the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet.
Right. And we can use this scripture for real-time scenarios, right? Because America is modern-day Babylon, right? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2.
And we come in the same spirit as Jeremiah did. All the prophets prophesied against great kingdoms. And America is the greatest kingdom of all. America is the last kingdom of all. Before Yahushua erect the kingdom of heaven, which is an everlasting or a continuous kingdom. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2. Right. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not.
Right. So how do we declare? By prophesying. Right. We come out here on the highways and byways, build the spirit. We do our weekly videos or daily videos, build the spirit. What was the other part?
It says, declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard.
Hey, publish. Don't we publish our videos before we upload those videos? Go ahead.
It says and set up a
standard is what? Hey, the scriptures. The will of Yahushua. And remember, what did Yahushua say? How the kingdom of heaven will be ruled on earth as it is in heaven. Because you got all this satanic rulership. I don't know if y'all seen this new robot, but Esau got this this robot. It's made like a bull, a goat. It has like black horns and everything. So, and I think it's not called Satan. It's called, hey, somebody look it up. It's Satan. It look like, yeah, it's black and it has like a head of a cow.
Like Baal.
Yeah, it looks like Baal, right? But that goes to show you their true God, man. That God on the back of the dollar bill, that's Satan, man. That's the eye of Satan. Hit your precept.
I got the definition for publish for you.
Go ahead.
We can publish and etymology online, make publicly known, reveal, spread abroad, communicate.
Break it down.
Right. Like the other said, don't we publish our videos, We make our videos, we publish them, meaning what? They are made public. When you look at it, you have the selection of private, public, unlisted, you know what I'm saying? So we make it public. So it can go abroad, like I said, to make abroad. So that's how the word goes out the four corners of the earth via the unicorn, man. So this truth is made public via prophecy by the prophets on the internet, going out the four corners of the earth, man.
And then when Yahushua put the spirit on the apostles' heart to overflood the world with this doctrine, look how fast times are moving. It opened the floodgate, right?
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, starting verse 1. I was standing upon my watch and set me upon the tower.
And this is an example of standing on our watch, right? Go ahead.
And will watch to see what he will say unto me.
Right, because basically a watchman is synonymous with the prophet. Prophets are watchmen, watchmen are prophets. Go ahead. And what are we doing? We're watching for the prophets, the prophecies, real time. Right. That's all we're doing. We're looking at real time current events, and we're linking these current events with the scriptures. Right. Okay, this is what the scripture stated in Matthew the 24th chapter, and that's how we know we're in the end time. Because remember, according to Hebrews, this is the first chapter, the end time was really when Yahushua walked the earth. That was classified as the end time. Now imagine 2,000 years later.
Because in a sense, it's almost like being a spiritual journalist, man. Because journalists, they'll get the information. You know what I'm saying? They'll make a report, and then they'll make it go public by publishing it throughout the internet, papers, articles, things of that nature. But through the spirit and power of Hashem Yahushua, we take the prophecies that we see coming to pass, equate them to the scriptures, and regurgitate it at its simplest form for people.
Hey, now you remember the newspaper in our hometown was called what? The Star Herald. So heralds do what?
Speak.
They speak and they proclaim the arrival of what's happening. Go ahead.
Man,
Go ahead, bro.
what you saying? You said, you go into the watchman. What does the watchman do? He sounds the alarm, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is that word to publish in the blue letter, and this is in the Hebrew. It's shameh. It says the man. Just get down to the point. It says to sound, to report, to declare, to discern.
And we're declaring, we discern. Discern, you have to have judgment. And through the Spirit, we're not reprobates. We understand what's going on. Go ahead.
To surely tell,
To surely tell. To surely tell. You have to be bold. To be confident, to surely tell. And that's build the Holy Spirit, which links up to what? Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. The boldness, right? That's the Holy Spirit. Go ahead, bro.
It says to be content, to declare.
Right, to be content. And we are content. Right? We understand what is needed. We have everything we need to do the will of the Most High. And we're content in doing it because we're not emotional when it comes to bringing out this word. And we understand that we're going to be affected as well. Job loss, the loss of wives, the loss of families, right? So on and so forth. We understand what comes with the territory because via the Spirit, we counted the cost before we purchased the car. Go ahead.
It says to hear intelligently, to be in obedience of, to listen indeed. And then it says to show forth and surely
and
tell.
we're showing forth what? We bring the scriptures out, linking it to real time. Go ahead.
It says to surely tell, understand, whosoever heareth be a witness.
That's it. Hey, it's all one. He was Dutch out a song called Shirley. Go ahead, finish out.
Back in Habakkuk 2, it says, and what shall I answer when I am reproved? Mm-hmm. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision.
Did you get that in the NLT, bro?
Yeah. Back in Habakkuk chapter 2, starting verse 1 in the NLT, I will climb up to my watchtower and stand at my guard post.
That's us coming to these altars on the highways and the byways. And your YouTube pages are altars. Right? Go ahead.
There I will wait to see what the Lord Yahweh says and how he will answer my complaint.
So we're watching. Again, if you've seen the movie Troy, how did the Trojans know that the Greeks were approaching? Because of those watchmen. When they sound that bell, right? When that watchman or those watchmen saw those ships, what did they do? They hit the bell. And we're hitting the bell right now. Go ahead, bro.
Then the Lord Yahweh said to me, write my answers plainly on tablets, right, so that a runner can carry the correct message.
And so we're running now. So the prophets of old, which are us, Lord will, makes sense as us, right? We wrote them back then, but now we're running right now.
Right.
You know, go
and
ahead.
If I can say, you got the watchmen that be on the tower, but you also have those spies who will ride out a little further and see the trouble before it comes. And they'll retreat back and let the watchmen know to get an earlier warning, man. Which is like scouts. So that's like getting the prophecies already in front of you, man. Or coming before it happens. Being the watchman to alert the people, man.
That's right.
You know?
I'm saying this too. It said correct message.
Yeah.
You can't bring them out no bullshit. Basically, you bring a bullshit. That's what they ain't gonna know what's going on.
Right.
You gotta make sure the message is correct.
Right.
I got a precept for you, bro. Hold up, bro. Hold up. Who's that precept?
I see that correct message. This is going to be going into like Revelation 22nd chapter, the 18-19 verse, regarding adding or take away from the scriptures, man. Because you got a lot of these camps that do that, man. They'll add and take away from the scriptures for their own filthy lucre's sake, to fill their own belly, whatever the case may be, man. But like the other saying, it pointed out in the scripture, it said the correct message. And if you're not speaking strictly out the scriptures and breaking it down properly as is, you're delivering an incorrect message.
And that's why Ezekiel 3, 18 on down, 17 on down, it said warn the people. So you got to warn the people who are about to go down. You don't want the people who are about to go down, the blood is on your hands. Right. And a lot of you people, a lot of you preachers, especially a lot of you Israelite groups, that it's not warning the people, man. So all the blood will be on you, man. You gotta let the people know what's going on, man.
That's right.
You got to.
Yeah. Right. I can just go into the watchman. Because a watchman, your job is to report. If you don't report or you report falsely, then blood is on your hands. You know, and the scripture says that as well. And if you do report it, and then people don't listen, then you're good. You know, you always do somebody about the life.
That's on them. They don't listen. They've been born and they don't listen. That's on them.
Yeah. And I want to bring out another point. The point that Tazwan made because he said the correct message. Go ahead, bro. And this is the correct message right here.
This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness.
And that didn't come from Christianity and Islam and Buddha. Because all that bullshit, all those philosophies has circulated the world 10 times plus. Right? It's this gospel. Right? And then the bell had the trump. Go ahead, bro.
It says, for a witness unto all nations,
right.
Then shall the end come.
Right, because the all nations, meaning these other nations, has to receive their judgment before the Most High brings judgment on them. Right? Because he's not going to just basically bring judgment and you don't know what you did, but you got the token. And what did Yahushua say? The only sign these niggas going to get is the sign of Jonah. And what did Jonah represent? The prophets. Right? Hey, I think you got one. Bring yours up real quick, bro.
This is Luke chapter 19, verse 20. And another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound which I have kept laid in the napkin. And I want to say, you know, we were supposed to publish it. We're not supposed to, as the listeners get into, you're supposed to publish this, not hide it.
Yeah, being that red spirit of pride with his chain, I'm just going to tuck mine in.
Yeah. God. Verse 21. For I fear thee, because thou art still man, thou takest up what thou layest not down, and reapest what thou didst not sow.
But priest, if he really feared him, he would have did what he said. Right? But no, you have to make yourself that living sacrifice. You know, if you got that talent, it's all about flipping that talent. So you can bring more money back. And that's what it's all about.
And I want to bring out, the reason why you hide it, the reason why you won't publish it is because of what?
You're ashamed.
You're ashamed. You want to be friends of this world.
Or you scared of the world.
Friends of the world, you scared of this world, you know? Like, Samson said, I feared the people. Saul said, I feared the people. You know? So he went against the Lord. You know, and a lot of y'all, especially these false prophets, will go against what Yahweh Shema Shai has established because what? They fear the system. They fear the people. They fear Esau, Edom, and they fear 2/3.
Like Lamar was talking one time some months ago, heavy is he that wears a crown. Because of certain decisions you have to make. And within that dynamic, you're going to have some that's going to love you and some that's going to hate you. That's the balance of it. But you have to be able to have a strong neck in order to keep that head upright as you're wearing that crown. You see what I'm saying? You know, so you can't hide your talent. You know, you don't supposed to hide your talent. And again, if you can lace all these comment boards with precepts, you should be out there holding count or at a count.
Especially the scoffer.
No, it ain't the right spirit anyway. You need to just shut the fuck up. Yeah.
It's like if you got all that energy to go look up precepts, that's the scoffers. You know, put that energy towards something good. But ultimately, you know, y'all watch my shot controls everything.
Yeah, they mark for death, bro. Keep scoffing, because the more y'all need to scoff, the profitability for us it looks even better. You gotta be like Kobe Bryant this thing, man. As long as we put up our 80, who gives a fuck about that?
I got the word gospel.
Go ahead, bro.
It's that word gospel where it says this gospel shall be preached. It's your angelion in the Greek. It says, I'm gonna read this paragraph. It says the glad tidings of the kingdom of the Most High.
So really, tidings goes into what news. So we have the good news, right? And within the good news, you have the concept of all the bitter and the sweet, the soft and the hard. Go ahead.
I want to read it because it cancels out, you know, all these other camps who don't follow the words of Yahweh Shema Shai and who don't preach the name of Yahweh Shema Shai. It says, the glad tidings of the kingdom of the Most High, soon to be set up, and subsequently also of
Brother says soon to be set up. That's going into the kingdom. Because even Apostle Tahar said a couple of days ago, look, bro, we only got months. Not years, no more years, it's months. Because the infrastructure is set. We just need the perfect men to propel this thing into a different glory, man. You're not going to continue to be on the highways and the byways. So, brothers, prepare, you know what I'm saying, your minds to suffer, you know, to be alone, and to go through endure hardness. And that's the reason why our lifestyles have become so bitter, because the Most High wants us to have that continuous detachment from the world.
Hey, I'm gonna say this too, you know, 300. When you know, they outnumber so bad, right? Mm-hmm. They're not prepared for glory. Mm-hmm. Even though they're gonna die, but guess what? People still gonna hate them regardless. People still gonna hate them regardless. But we prepare for glory, and the Lord say, if we endure to the end, He gonna bless us.
But they was trained to die.
They trained to die.
They was trained to die from you know what I'm saying, from
you don't love.
When they turn a certain age, I'm gonna tell y'all something about Leonidas, man. You remember the corridor he was in, right? You know, so when he used the corridor, why did he use that corridor?
So basically, when you have a corridor, when it comes to the military, no matter the size of the numbers, you can shrink their numbers down. So if you think about the Strait of Hormuz, it doesn't matter about big, vast body of ocean. They can control it because it's so much of a narrow pathway. So you don't have a lot of land to kind of to cover. So you can have 10,000 people, and if you got 300, they can close in this gap. That 1,000 still can only fall through there and get knocked out.
And that's what Leonidas was telling him. He was a war general, and that's why he said what? Their numbers would count for nothing based on the corridor. Now, where did Leonidas get that concept from? No, when he fought the wolves. Remember?
He
fought the wolves in that corridor. That's how he knew. That's what saved him. That it was the fucking corridor, and he knew that wolf's speed, his strength, his ability counted for nothing because of that corridor. And his size. That's it. Yeah, he got stuck. That's where the concept came from. And these are Israelites, man. And they're spoken of in the book of Maccabees, man, as they're known as the Macedonians. And if you can receive this in the spirit, those same 300 men was those 300 of Gideon, man.
And you only get there from frontline experience.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's how you become a great general.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at, you got P. Higgs. He was in the National Guard in 2021. I think he did what, like 3 or 4 years? Yeah, he was in the National Guard. He went from the National Guard to the Secretary of Defense.
But we all know the National Guards are for, and if I could just, my cousin told me all they were doing was just changing the oil and barbecue.
You call them weekend
I
warriors.
know it.
The National Guard, bro, we call them weekend warriors for a reason. They just go, they show up every once a month, and they just make sure they still there. They don't pretty much do nothing. Like, they just there. So if you send the National Guard, that's the only reason they always round up the National Guard stateside. If you send them across that water, they're not prepared for that.
I know it.
They're not prepared for that.
They prepare for
civilians.
Hurricane.
We pass out book bags.
Yeah, they prepare for that. Humanitarian stuff.
That's it.
It says subsequently also of Yahushua, who is the Messiah and the founder of this kingdom, because Yahushua is what the author and finisher of
That's right.
faith.
That's right.
It says after the death of Hamashiach, the term comprises also preaching of concerning Yahushua Hamashiach as having suffered death on the cross to procure eternal salvation for the men in the kingdom of the Most High.
That's right, Israelites.
There you go. It says, but as restored to life and exalted to the right hand of the Most High in the heavens, this to return in majesty to consummate the kingdom of the Most High.
So Yahushua is at the right of the Most High, which is symbolic for him being what? The chief priest, as well as having that ranking in his name, Yahushua. And then, of course, on your right is a place of authority too, man. So he is that guy in the spiritual.
And my man, I read all that because it comprises, you think about everything that the apostles, the elders, the apostles taught them down, everything comprises in there. Yahushua, salvation only being for the nation of Israel, which is the 1/3 in this time frame. Ultimately going into everything that we talk about in these times, it comprises all up in there. So if you're not talking about exactly that, then you're not
Psalm 47. The volume, Yahushua comes in the volume of the book. It's the whole book, and part of that book is great, right? The Israelite born. All the, like you said, these other nations can't be saved. The microchip.
All right, America being destroyed.
America being destroyed.
Because that's good news for us. But if you comfortable right now, that's not good news to you. Like these niggas that we just talking about, like these influencers, these niggas, especially niggas just now getting the bag. You know, they want this shit to go on forever. So America being destroyed, you talk about America getting nuked. That's not good news to these niggas, man.
Well, it says to consummate the kingdom. How the kingdom gonna be consummated? The elect gonna be built up to the marriage, and America gonna be turned into a desert. Yeah. Along with the tiny tots. Yeah.
Because once we enter into those to the chariots, that's their consummation.
That's it. That's it. And then when you go into, like you said, as a point, and inside those inside that partnership is symbolic for what their bed chamber. Because when you go into a compartment, it's a chamber. Isaiah, I think it's 26 and get that precept. Isaiah 26.
We're not heading into a chamber.
Yeah, Isaiah 26 and 20. Yeah. Because we're joined to Yahweh Shah basically as soon as the elect is being up in there. That's the marriage. And the consummation comes as the elect is entering into that partnership. And it's one ship too. My bad.
No, just add on to what you're saying, because when Yahweh Shah said, I go to prepare a place, of course, he getting other planes ready. But then that father chariot, that goes back to customs in ancient Israel, because when you were betrothed to a man, that man would spend the whole betrothal period adding on to his father's house. And then he would come get his bride after he finished doing the add-on to his father's house. See, that's why going to the wise virgins, because you didn't know when he was going to be done. But he can be done in 8 months, he can be done in a year, he can be done in a year and a half. As soon as he get done, he come to get his bride. That's why they say the virgins got to be ready when he come back. But like you said, that's those chambers. How was Shah coming back in those chambers because he's ready for his bride now. He done went and added to his father's house. So now he coming back to get his bride.
In my father's house of many men.
He done added on. He done built them add-ons to his father's house. So now he just got to come get the bride.
You see that in the wild, man. You know, during mating seasons, certain birds, they'll build their nest. And they'll show the little female bird, like, look what I built.
The woodpeckers.
The wood, and they do that?
Yeah.
I know the birds of paradise, I believe they do that too. But like during mating season, like you're impressing the bride, your potential bride, like, look what I built. Look at this nest that I built for you.
Because if you hear them woodpeckers and they real loud, they really mating, let the women know that they got a house. Yeah. So you'll hear them real loud. That's done. Hey, Keisha.
Yeah. But it makes sense too, because I think in ancient custom, when it came down to marriage, I know American backwards. When it came down to marriage, the woman would stand and wait, and then the man would come and get the woman. Versus, American got this shit twisted.
Man, in Jerusalem, the wedding was for the groom. The wedding was for the man. You know, it wasn't like, here comes the bride. Right. And I knew a Jake that went to Israel. He was a musician, and they took a trip to Israel. He was telling me the stark differences between America and Israel. He was like, in the Middle East, the wedding is really for the groom. Like, what's an account where the woman was waiting on her husband, and she was like bathing in different oils and frankincense. That's con. So that's pretty much how we are being in this truth, man. Fighting the good fight of faith, enduring, and just keeping on pushing, man. It's like us just continually soaking and bathing in different frankincense and oils and just staying prepped up for our husband.
Which is really symbolic for the word.
None.
You know, that's the word is the oil, like you're saying.
None.
You know what I'm saying?
We're like the faithful woman preparing for our husband comes for that long journey.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You know, go to a parable.
Yeah,
Right. Right. Y'all got something? Yeah, go ahead.
This is Joel 2:15. Blow the trumpet in Zion.
And that's what we're doing. We're prophesying. So blowing the trumpet is what? Come out here on these highways. You know, being instant, in season, out of season. Instant in the Greek goes into what? To make ready. Just like instant grits. You make ready also by taking those contents out of their package, putting that shit in the bowl, throwing that shit in the microwave. So we're instant. As soon as the Holy Spirit gets on us, instantly we do a video. Instantly come on the highways and the byways. Right? Go ahead.
Sanctify a fast.
Right. Sanctify a fast. Go ahead.
Call a solemn assembly.
Right. This is a Solomon assembly. And Solomon goes into what? Seriousness. Solemn. Go ahead.
Gather the people,
right?
Sanctify the congregation.
The elect, because only the elect can be gathered, only the elect can be sanctified. Sanctified means what? To make clean. Go ahead.
Assemble the elders, gather the
So you're
children.
assembling something, and what are you doing? You're putting it together. If you bought you a goddamn desk before you read those instructions, how to assemble, right? Go ahead.
Gather the children.
So we're assembling the house of David, build the spirit of Yahweh Shemashah, starting with our spiritual forefathers, and at this time frame, Apostle Tahar, man. We're following Apostle Tahar. Go ahead.
So they go. Gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children, and those that suck the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth of his chamber, and the bride of her clothes.
Right. So who's the bridegroom? Yahweh Shai. Holds a lot of bridegroom.
It says, let the bridegroom go forth of his chamber,
Right.
and the bride out of her closet.
And the bride is the elect. Right? And it only makes sense that it's one ship. Right? It's going to be one ship. All the elect will be beamed up into one ship. That's one marriage, one husband, one wife. So all the elect is going to be beamed up at the same goddamn time.
He said the ship was so big, he couldn't see
That's
the
it.
start or the end.
That's it. And that's that rock that destroyed the feet, right, without no hands, because Yahweh Shai is coming with technology outside this world. Y'all had something.
Back in Eastern culture, that's when you had that private room with the bride and the bridegroom and the bride. They come together to perform their marriage.
Yeah.
They sanctify their marriage. So it's like the ultimate words in 1 Thessalonians. It says we're gonna meet Yahweh Shai in the air. That's how we're all gonna come together. You know?
And then what would the bridegroom do? As a token of her virginity, he would come out, the parents would come out and display what?
Right, laying the sheets.
So yeah, because to show the blood on the sheets. Right. So you can't say, man can no longer say, well, she wasn't a virgin. No. So how is Yahweh Shai gonna do it when we're being down? Right? When we come out of that fathership, man.
So really, that's really like the hope we live right now. It's pretty much like a family reunion for the beginning. You know, those same individuals with Yahweh Shai from the beginning, those Alahayim.
Right.
You know, it's pretty much like a family reunion.
And that's why if we're the men of Yahweh Shemashah, we can't fall in love with anything because we created all this shit. How can a man fall in love with his painting? No, you don't fall in love with your painting. You created that shit. You know? Now, it doesn't mean you don't love it, but you don't be head over heels for nothing.
Ooh, look what I did.
You know? You said what?
You're like, ooh, look what I did.
Yeah. Good job, bro.
I had a couple. I'm gonna get this one first. This is Luke. This is Luke chapter 6, starting verse 20. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, Blessed be ye poor. Blessed. Oh, okay. Verse 20. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said, Bless ye poor
We're poor.
for your
Right? We're the poor. Compared to basically what other people have in this world, and it's cool to be poor. Because hey, with the flip side of that, Romans 11:33, but you are rich. Right? We got the word, man. And we have our daily bread. We got the Holy Spirit. We got good health.
Faith.
We got faith.
Yes.
Man, bro, to sell out. That nigga J.M. Moore, you know he sacrificed his daughter. Do you know he's back doing videos? Now the whole themes are how he lost his daughter. That's the themes. Like, you niggas are sick. And then you bring these little bastards in the world, but hell, you supposed to be protecting your baby. You supposed to protect your babies, man. But Jake's so fucking wicked, you sacrifice him, man. Bro, I'm gonna tell you something about these sea monsters, man. Do you know an octopus would have hundreds of babies? An octopus would not leave, the mother octopus would not leave her young until those fucking babies are all hatched. She won't eat nothing. So by the time her babies hatch, she's dead. And they're gone. Goddamn, a black woman leave you in the goddamn the summer heat. Brenda's got a baby. But she'll leave you in the goddamn hot car. I'm talking about 105 degrees, the car ain't even running. But an octopus, that is a creature, would not leave her young until all of them have been delivered, hatched, and then she'll die.
What did you do that video? I think she had the baby in the Porter John at the Chris Brown concert. They found it Monday.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
For yours is the kingdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
Ours is the kingdom. Everlasting, man. Something is everlasting. And then, hey, I was talking to my cousin, and he was just talking about how he had saved some money one time, and how the money started to fade, which brought me to that song Nipsey said, how him and Black Sound stashed 250 in the yard, but when they went to go dig it up, 100-some thousand was gone, and they had to blow dry the rest of the money. But that goes to show you can stash up $250,000. You put that shit in the ground, but guess what? It's gonna be destroyed. It fades away. The moth eaten, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, in the kingdom of heaven, nothing will ever destroy what we have, man.
So what does mean the brother went into that?
Bring it up.
You know, gold is actually anti-microbacterial.
Really?
Yeah. Like that's why we're gonna build with gold. Like we're gonna have cedar wood, but everything gonna be overlaid with gold. It's actually anti-microbacterial. Gold. Yeah, it's sanitary. Like it's like natural sanitation. Gold itself is meant to last forever.
Damn.
You can't burn gold. You can melt it, but you can't. It won't. Like you burn wood, it disappears. Right. Gold it'll melt and then it'll hard back up. Yeah. So it's really meant like gold is really immortal. That's what we're gonna build, and that's real money. You can stash gold anywhere because then gold come from the ground.
Yeah, but that makes sense. That's why the scriptures liken us to what gold.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have that immortality too. Damn.
And it's funny you mentioned underground in Psalm 7 and 10. Psalm 17. It speaks about the hidden treasures, which is gold, silver. So you can't put FRNs on the ground apparently. You know, because it's paper, it's wood. So it's gonna what do you call it? It's gonna decay. It's biodegradable. It's gonna turn right back into the earth. But gold and silver, like you said, man, it's yeah.
You can dig it up to this day and find gold from the 1400s.
Underwater, Egyptian tombs.
I was thinking about that, like all those shipwrecks. You still can, that gold still good.
Mm-hmm. And when the Greek, when they trying to get down there. When they took over the Persian Empire, they had gold from the Syrian Empire in the treasure. I say that's how you know wealth is transferred.
And when Germany, the economy collapsed, they started using their money, burning it to keep warm and shit. Yeah. So they told you paper money ain't shit, man.
I appreciate what he said. It's about like how he said he was saving. They started moving away. This is Haggai chapter 1, verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but yet is none warm.
And that's why the scripture says he should wear out the saints of the Most High. The Most High didn't create a society for Israel to work and never rest. He didn't create a society for Israel to where you almost 70 preparing to retire. He prepared a society to where, man, you really retired at 19 or you're established. I say that at 19. See, now, the way that at least have it, nobody can build in America. It's hard to build in America. They even basically have anti-wealth systems. So you got to pay to have your money in the bank. Because one of the things that slows down wealth, for lack of better words, is leakage. Interest, debt, it keeps you from accumulating wealth. See, at least they don't care how much pussy you get. They don't care if you can eat fast food all day. They don't care if you got a home. They don't want you to build anything, man. They don't want you to own anything. But a lot of the niggas don't know that this is still slavery. That's all it is. Debt is slavery, man. You got debt hanging over your head. You got stress hanging over your head, man. It's the same concept of during slavery when you was on the plantation. They work you all week. They let you party on the weekend so you can reproduce and make more slaves. Then you go back to work. Only different, they give you a little leisure here.
That's what they said about the 40 hours. According to Henry Ford, it's enough not to kill you.
That's crazy. And
according to their statistics.
There you have it.
And then overtime only supposed to be 25% of the 40 hours. So really you're only supposed to work no more than 10 hours a day if you were to do overtime.
Dang.
If you notice, depending on what job you work, once you get into that 12-hour bracket, it's like your body starts tweaking, man.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
You know what I'm saying? You get past that 12-hour bracket, man. You got to turn around and get back up the next day. It's like your body starts tweaking, man.
I got precept.
All right, go ahead.
Proverbs 22:7. the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is subject to the lender.
How is the rich ruling over the poor, man? Even after the Christians broke down slavery, but then you got Jim Crow, man. You know, that's why they call it sharecropping. That's why they call it sharecropping. Yeah, that's why they call it sharecropping. You share the land with the so-called white man, and he's renting out his tools for you to work the land, but then charge you for the tool usage. Yeah, that's what I call sharecropping. If I'm not mistaken, that's it. That's it. And at the end of that season, he said, well, you use my mural, you use my plow, I gotta charge you for that shit. So they push you back at square one. You never accumulate wealth. You just back at being broke. You forced to work for him another season and get just enough food.
What happened when we first got out of they first so-called abolished chattel slavery, which that's all because we in wage slavery now. That's all they did because they didn't have nobody to manage the field. So they paid Jake to manage the field, but they charged Jake for the seeds and all the equipment and everything. They made it so high where Jake was already in debt. But you were just talking about how you can never build here. You know, kids are getting ready to go back to school. If you go through history and look at, like, once a boy became 5 or 6 years old, he started being around his father, learning trades and learning how to be a man. And you said by the time he get 17, 19 years old, he good. Because by 13 years old, he was able to get family business and stuff together. Now, going to prison. They sit right in the school, which is a colorful prison. That's all it is.
All right, Priest Lamar, did you have something first?
I got I just asked chat to break down the concept of sharecropping. And it says sharecropping was a farming system that became widespread in the southern United States after the American Civil War. It was presented as a way for people without land to earn a living, but in practice, it often kept farmers, especially many formerly enslaved Black Americans, in a long-term poverty and debt.
Yep, because it's a leasing system, it's a debt system, man. Like the brother brought out, the borrowers are servants to the living. So basically, you have to understand, Esau never wanted to. We never came to America to build anything. We came to America to serve slavery. There was no plan B. There was no retirement package for slavery. Like Priest I now is breaking down. Now it's set up to where you're going to go from school to prison. Yeah. That's not a coincidence, man. All right, you said those are the same thing he had?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing, yeah.
All right. But it's basically a modern day slavery. Can somebody get that? I think it's an Amos. The plowman shall overtake the reaper. I got it. All right, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 52, verse 1. It says, awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. The ones who are wicked in these latter times are the elect of the nation of Israel. Those beautiful garments go into the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Verse 2, shake thyself from the dust, which goes to the state of confusion in Samaria, Babylon the Great. The Hebrew word for Babylon is Babal, which goes to chaos, confusion. It says, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem, loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh.
It's system, man, from a spiritual standpoint. Because we already know basically that we can't go nowhere because really the first token that you're enslaved is your birth certificate.
Verse 3, for thus said the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, you have sold yourselves for naught, and you should be redeemed without money. So these so-called reparations, things of that sort, that's not going to save us. The true reparations is the Holy Spirit of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. That's the only thing that's going to repair us with things in this broken, decadent state. We say Yahushua is going to come with healing in his wings. He's going to prepare and repair the whole thing.
I'm glad you said repair because when you think about restore, restoration is going to that status as before. Reparations from Esau ain't going to make us kings and princes of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. No, Yahushua put us in this mess. He's going to get us out of this mess. And in the process, we're going to be restored.
Because even, go ahead, bro.
Now, I'm just saying, like, they show you the Dave Chappelle show, they show like the so-called blacks came across that money from the government. You saw what the niggas did with the money, man. They're not financially literate like that, you know? And from let's not even get to it on a spiritual perspective, you know.
Think about when Jake get his taxes. All these Jakes, they give it right back. They'll go put their whole tax check on a new vehicle that they can't afford to ride around in about a month and a half, 2 months, just to Esau to come back and take it. Instead of just taking you $3,000 or $4,000, go get you a cash car. You know what I'm saying? But that's the Jake that he want to be on this pinnacle that he ain't prepared for. Because he would put a little money on something and save up a little bit on the side.
But that's luxury poverty.
You brought out how long the dollars can last in Jake's community, right?
Yeah. 6 hours?
That's few hours.
So it doesn't matter if Esau gave you $1 trillion as a race of people. You've already been programmed to get it right back.
It's like Jake, they trading on Bitcoin and some shit like that.
Because
That shit in minutes.
because Jake as a whole is behind.
Right.
Now I didn't mean to impede the spirit. Was a brother holding something?
I got that.
Okay,
I got a quick. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48 in NLT. You will serve your enemies, whom the Lord Yahweh will send against you. You will be left hungry, thirsty, naked, and lacking in everything.
Yeah, because basically, if you get the KJV, it'll say you will serve your enemy for the one of all things. So you're gonna have to go through your enemy for clothing, and everything you go through your enemy for, he weaponizes it. Because it said, "By thy sword should I rule." So even the fabric we wear, if it's polyester, it's lower than testosterone. The food we eat, lower than testosterone, lower your vitality. What you say, bro? The water you drink, it's your enemy selling it to you.
All of it got parasites.
With your housing that you're renting and you're leasing, the land has poison in it, man. Esau poison you, then say you got a problem, and then charge you for the so-called remedy, man.
But this is my thing though, air and water and food are really fruits from the world,
Right.
Fruits from the earth. How can you fucking market it? Right. You know what I'm saying? You incorporate it and then you just sell it to the public.
He polluted it.
And you polluted it.
He polluted it, and then he said, if you want fresh water, if you want filtered water, I have it right here.
You're right.
Now you trying to sell it to sunlight.
There you go.
He's the devil. You know, that's crazy.
He polluted and sold it.
He polluted and then sold you the idea of purity.
And then something.
That's crazy.
And he even destroyed our houses. Like the Israelite man and the woman is not compatible. He repackaged our women. He sold just like he polluted the water and the air. He polluted the woman, then market her back to us like she's a prize. You know, but now she can't prayer bond. You don't know the kids or all this crazy shit.
That's crazy.
Sold you your kids back to you in the form of child support. He sold you your kids back to you, man.
So we went from having multiple women to now our women got multiple baby daddies.
Come on, man.
We got multiple problems.
You just want to extend this place, man.
You want me to get in NLT? I mean, KJV? No. Okay. Back in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48 in the KJV. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
You should serve your enemy in hunger and thirst and nakedness and want of all things. So you're going to have to go through Esau to start a business. You want to be independent, you got to go through Esau. You got to get permission from somebody who's lower than you, man. All right, doesn't it not say, what's that in Sirach, how your brother could get it, or how it's a shame to serve somebody that's less honorable than you. That's not Esau, you know?
This Limitations 5 and 4 in the NLT, we have to pay for water to drink, and even firewood is expensive. You think about the firewood, think like lumber, I think they put like glyphosate on the lumber, which is a weed killer. You know, then you got to think about you put that inside your household, you inhaling all those harmful toxins.
What's it called?
Glyphosate.
That's in your wine too.
It makes sense. Like grains and all that.
Well, you know what's fucked up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you got it.
You know what's fucked up?
I got it hit me.
Okay.
Like the cotton, you know how they harvest the cotton and things of that sort. So you got the glyphosate on the cotton. They said, like with tampons, tampons made out of cotton. So when women are sticking them tampons up there, their vagina throughout their monthly, they put glyphosate into their systems, which causes cancer. It causes cancerous cells.
A lot of women have cancer.
That's right.
Yeah, let that blood flow.
Yeah.
Hey, so if you stick that up there, it stops up the natural passage of that so-called cleanse, so to speak, because the blood is cleansing itself. That's why it is outflowing.
And that pH is imbalance.
Yep. Come off the pH back.
It's like birth control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you're supposed to release the blood. You know, that's you store in the bottles toxins.
Yeah, so we have to pay for water to drink. Even firewood is expensive.
Like, what the fuck is the shiny, man? If you really be looking at bottles, like Chris Abaya said, man, the Most High gave us the earth for free. But Esau conditioned us to think you think you got to buy organic avocado. It was organic before you came into power, man. It was like Elder Yashawama said, avocado was the cream of the earth, man. All right, the water when Gad inhabited America, a lot of that was natural mineral water because what did the Most High have in these lakes? Crystals, gemstones, rocks. And what's inside of rocks? Minerals.
Yeah. It was a natural filtration system.
It was a natural filtration system.
Now you see people go out in the wild now, they're them drink out of a natural stream. Yeah. They're gonna have diarrhea, they're gonna be vomiting, they're gonna be immobile. But there was the true natural water source originally. And also our grandparents' well water.
Yeah.
But all of them been stopped up now. Yeah. You know, for the most part.
Yeah. And then you got the chemtrails. So when it rains, they bring all this shit down to the earth. The soil absorbs it. Like I say, them natural streams underground, everything, them what you call the spring heads, they all tainted them. You know, they all poison. And it's going back to what y'all talking about the wood. Yeah. One of the reasons, like, they'll build all these new nice houses and they throwing them up so quick, man, but 5-10 years they start having foundation problems, you know, ceilings falling out. It's because they don't use mature wood. They keep cutting the trees down before they mature.
And that's the nature of Esau, that mass production, man.
Yeah.
And when there's mass production, what happens? The quality is lost.
Right.
There's no integrity in mass production.
Right.
Like raising animals for slaughter.
Chickens, man.
Chickens,
yeah,
man.
Shit, back in them Tyson trucks.
Yeah.
18 wheelers.
But they prematurely grown up,
Yeah.
unrealistically.
And why they all white? You know?
Right.
That shows you that there's some
Lab shit.
some lab stuff that's going on. The same way they do with the salmon. Same way we don't eat it, but with the catfish.
Tilapia.
Tilapia.
And I remember back in the day, it would take years to build a fucking house.
Yeah.
A whole subdivision can be erected within 6 months.
You wake up the next day, this shit might be.
Man, bro, it would take damn near a year and a half to create a house. And now I've seen down here in Jackson, where Pearl Orchard, off of Pearl Orchard Street, that's the latest subdivision. I think it's probably anywhere from like 5 to 7 years old. Now it's subdivision, but at the end of the day, it took 6 to 8 months to erect that.
I believe it was Ray Allen was on a podcast, right? And he was making the comparison between the NBA now and the NBA back in his day, right? He was Ray Allen. He was like, what happened was these the NBA want fast results when it comes to the NBA players. They want everybody to shoot threes and all this. He says the problem is you never get a chance to develop your players. Mm-hmm. It reminds me of that wood that doesn't get a chance to mature. Yeah. So if you want these rapid results for these basketball players, and they're gone in 2-3 years, if you don't get the result, you never get a chance to develop them, man.
Yeah. Think back in the day, Pistol Pete had VHSs. You know, he had DVDs. He was able to curate and build a legacy off of teaching and coaching. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, the only things niggas can do is dribble and hoop. And they chase out the brand deals. So nothing is curated anymore. Right. Everything is just they want everybody to shoot from the half court line, so they can build up front row seats, sell out the stadiums because everybody said ooh and ah, and then also it brings forth more points. So now they pull forth the lead. Yeah. You know, it's just crazy. In the same way, the Most High has sped up the entire planet Earth. Esau Edom has sped up his form of ruling as well. Yeah. You know, because everything is moving fast.
And when I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like, now, see, think about the NBA, the mid-range game, you see players posting up anymore. So that's taking away the essence away from the game.
And that was so important. Ray Allen was going into, man. Like, you don't let the players just process naturally. They did back in the 80s and 90s. Early 2000s, you know?
That's what Michael Jordan said. He said that he could have perfected the three, but if he would have did that, they would have taken away from his post game. This mid-range.
I'm just gonna say, imagine somebody playing like not Ray Allen, but Dennis Rodman in today's time.
Oh my!
He'll be fined out the damn league.
That when he let him play.
Nope.
Because everything is so pacified.
Right.
Yeah.
You show me Rodman, like Bill Laimbeer, Shaquille O'Neal, Karl Malone. You right?
So they took they took the element of fundamental. They took the fundamentals out the game.
Masculinity.
But you know,
That's why he been on a great decline.
Yeah. I was gonna say, and I know y'all took him to test for it. Probably all brothers test for it, but going into that maturity, man, you know, you might have your older brother. He probably like 18, 19, 20. You like, 11, 12. Y'all wrestling. Your older brother throwing your ass around. You know what I'm saying? Because you're weaker than him. You haven't matured. But as the years go by, you become like 19, 20. Your brother like 30. He come grab your ass, but it's a difference.
Yeah.
Because now you're mature. You thumping his ass. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what too? You develop through those butt whoopers too.
Yeah.
You start to acclimate.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It might be traumatizing when you're a young boy.
Yeah.
When you start growing into it, you start to adapt.
That's right. There you go.
Like you said, you throw them in the environment, it starts to adapt, man.
That's right.
But in Esau's microwave economy, he wants fast results. You know, and he does that with everything. Because with weddings, in the ancient world we had betroths. How you say it in that form? But we had arranged marriages, man. So your little boy and little girl were betrothed to be married since they was little. And he just grow. It's a process. Now it's right to the right.
Think about
ceremonies. Yeah. You have a ceremony that can last for days or weeks. Yeah. To announce it, now you can just go to the goddamn court system and get married one in a day.
Yeah. Elon has $1 million weddings and
think about these 50s and 60s, man. They was done